You have started with your daily revision and you are going through the today's contents. So just in a minute, let's talk to each other and then you continue in your own manner. So if you open D4 data, I have given day-wise instructions already. So let me ask you step by step. Can everyone successfully import any existing dynamic web project in your workspace? No issues? Nobody's finding any problem? Okay, so that's great. In case you have any problems, you just have to fix. Sometimes JDK version could be different. Tomcat anyway, you are using the same, so you will not have issues. So again, I don't know, you might have started your revision, I'm sure, because I joined late. But I'll just tell you in which format I want that revision. Otherwise, even after spending 2 hours, you might be still confused over a few things. So just being the second day in Enterprise Java, I mean actual web programming in Java, I'll just give you some guidelines regarding the day-wise crisp revision. And then of course, I will leave you, I mean, the rest of the time, I'll leave it to you. So depending on what you want to do. So when you say you want to revise a day-wise work, I'm taking this thing. I'm making an assumption that everyone has imported the project. Or if you are working parallelly with me in the morning half, you might have your own project to revise. Either way, I'm okay. So can I start with the hints on or tips on how to do a quick revision? So that, everyone will be on the same page. And then anyway, rest of the time, you have today a lot of time for the other things. Okay, so as I have mentioned, close everything. You don't even have to start the server. This is going to be just a trace of all the things right from the first page to the last page, including all the layers. So you imagine that client has sent you the first request. So as always, I do this exercise with all the beginners batch. So here, let me say this. Of course, you know this. I'll share all these updated instructions with you. So what we are going to do is, we are going to identify the incoming request. Another easy way is, you can always look into that network tab, network traffic inspect, and you can understand. But here I'm just mentioning it for you. So when I say request, I mean URL requests. Okay. So anyone wants to tell me what will be the first request? Okay, I'll give you some assumptions. The name of the web application is day 1 4.2. Anyone wants to tell me what will be the first request sent from the client? Okay, I want URL. So I'll make it easy for you. You don't have to tell me the URL. It could be any host. It could be any port. So you start telling me from the URI. Anyone wants to tell me? Yes, ending with, yeah. So /login also would not be there. Only the welcome, only the website address. So /day 4.2. Okay. So here, if suppose this is the incoming request, who will intercept this request? Who will take this request? Web container. Web container finds no HTML, no .jsp, no CSS, nothing. So it will see. So it knows that it has to be to the welcome page. So from which file it will know the welcome page? Which is the file it will use to know the welcome page? Web.xml. So from web.xml, which has been already read earlier, it will find out the welcome page. So can you tell me what will be added in the response? So if this is the request, what will web container send in the response? Everyone knows the answer. Which file will be sent back? Which HTML contents will be sent back as a response? Index page content. Okay. So here, response status code will be SC200. Standard headers, content type, content length, and this one. So this is what I mean by tracing or by revising everything. Is the first request response clear to 100% of you? No issues? Okay. So now I can start opening. So here, now the contents of index page have been sent to the client. So in the same manner, now open this thing, src main web app, index page. And like I have given clear-cut instructions, first in 2 minutes, you can just understand the life cycle details, lazy loading versus eager loading. So how? So this page is going to be downloaded to the client, and you tell me, like, suppose client clicks on this link. What will be the next request sent from the client? Are you understanding my questions? So if client clicks on it, yes, ending in /test1. So I'll mention, I'm just maintaining today. Every day you don't require so much help. If client clicks on lazy loading link, the request which will be sent, the initial part will be the same, and it will be added with test1. So, container has a map. It will check, is there any request? Is there any entry with the key /test1? So what is going to be the answer? In the request mapping map, will there be any entry with /test1? Yes or no? Answer is yes. We have written a servlet for that. So which is the servlet you are going to open for its servicing? The name of the servlet, which is the servlet you'll open? Servlet 1. Exactly. So open that. Open pages, servlet 1. And how do you know whether you are right or wrong? This has to be matching. So everyone understands how the control comes here. Fully clear so far? This is the kind of pressing which is really helpful in understanding everything about web application. Now, look at these 2 lines and tell me, lazy loading, lazy startup, lazy loading, or eager loading? Lazy means what? Has the if it is the first request, is the servlet 1 instance created so far or not yet created? Not yet created. So now your container will start the life cycle. So what is the proof of concept? Then it will print in init of which class name? Fully qualified class name, which is whatever pages.servlet1. Followed that by this thing, service, public service calling, protected service calling do get. So this will be sent, and this is what the response will be sent. Understood the first link completely? Are you getting this? Okay, so here, if you mention, so here, this will be sent, this request will be sent to, or it will be taken by servlet 1. And in the response, what it will send is, response will be sent. So if you want to highlight, you can always highlight. So that after 10 days also, it should not, you should not have any confusion. So here, servlet 1, I'll say here, starts the life cycle in a lazy manner, because load on startup is, what is the default value of load on startup? If you don't mention 1, the value of it is -1, and that is an indication for the container not to be hyper, not to be eager. And the response will consist of this. Okay, so this was your second one. Now the third one. If the client clicks on eager loading link, anything what I say, this is a pure revision for you guys. So if you don't understand a word, you have to tell me. So now check this out. Again, you go to index page, and if client clicks on eager loading of servlet link, everyone knows the basic thing. So which will be the requesting URL? The requesting URL will be ending with /test1 or /test2. It is /test2. This will be taken by servlet 2 because we have a matching URL pattern. Now open servlet 2 and tell me lazy or eager. Open servlet2.java. But you will see that there is nothing here. So if you are not supplying deployment instructions here, where there must be, which is the file you will open to find the deployment descriptions? Of course, web.xml. So open web.inf, web.xml. Look at the servlet deployment tag and tell me eager or lazy. eager. Which line number tells you that it is going to load it eagerly? Line number, please. Line number 13. So just take the cursor. This is a revision time. So whatever time you want to spend is all yours. So if you take the cursor on load on startup, it tells you so nicely, indicates that servlet should be loaded as in instantiated and have its init method called on the startup of the web application, which is what? Deployment time. So this is where you are telling the container. So when the request is made, tell me, this is, will it start the life cycle of the servlet or has it been already started? It's already started. So this is the web container has already started the life cycle. So when I say started the life cycle, what all it has done, has it already loaded the servlet class in the server side method area? Yes. Has it created a singleton instance of the servlet using the constructor? Yes. And is init method also called? All yes. Okay. So here class loading, I'll say this properly, class loading followed by, instantiation, default constructor followed by init. All these steps done. So I have a question. Will you use this eager load on startup factor non-zero or non-negative number, typically non-zero positive number for all the servlets or only in special cases? Let me rephrase the question. Will you do it for every servlet or only for specific ones? Answer is only special cases. Which ones? Yes. So if your init method is long, time consuming, and if you don't start the life cycle eagerly, yes, database connection or any, Spring framework, any time consuming jobs if you are doing, definitely start it in an eager manner. Otherwise, who will suffer? Will all the requests suffer or will the first request suffer? First client's first request will suffer. Are you getting it? After that, anyway, all the requests will run directly to get and all that. So to avoid that, we did this, has already started the life cycle. So which is the only thing it will call? It will directly call, everyone knows this, public service. Whose public service method it will call? The HTTP servlets, your super classes. What are the two arguments? Servlet request, servlet response, or HTTP servlet request, servlet response? Only servlet request, servlet response. This calls its protected service method. As I'm saying this all the time, so you don't have to open too many books. You can automatically remember. And here you have HTTP request, HTTP response as the arguments, and then it will check it is a get method which will further call do get. So this is what will complete and whatever it responds. So the response will be same. I mean, the response I have not changed. We'll just copy this. So this response will be sent back to the client. Getting a feel of how to, yes, throws SQL exception is already there. Getting a feel of how you're supposed to revise, what I expect from you when I say revise this and all that. You have to literally trace it, request response wise. So are we clear with first two links? Is everyone clear with the first two links? Any more discussion, any more help is required? Yes, Shubham, you have a question. Please ask.
मॅम म्हणजे एव्हरी टाइम करायचं का म्हणजे लोड ऑन स्टार्टअप मग प्रत्येक सर्व्हलेट साठी आपण
आत्ताच तर म्हटलं आपण ज्या सर्व्हलेट मध्ये तुझी इनिट मेथड ओव्हरराइडच केली नाहीये किंवा एनी सर्व्हलेट विच हॅज init method very fast, hardly any code is there. Why would you do load on startup? Let container start the servlet lifecycle after the first request. I mentioned it. Use case. Read the sequence. Use case only for time consuming initializations. Okay. Got this? Yeah. So now continue to the real thing. This is where we started actually content management system. So now if user clicks on user login, what will be sent there? So this is not submitted to any servlet. So the response will consist of login form. let us mention. So I'll say this. So if the client clicks on, what was that? User login. It's not too much to discuss because there's no servlet, there's nothing involved. The response will consist of, as a response, login form is sent to the client. Everyone with me? So imagine that login form is sent to the client and the next request will be, okay, so let me open, not me, you will open parallelly. So here, open login form and tell me when client, okay, let me say this. What is the type of the navigation from login.html to login.servlet? Is it a client pull or is it a server pull? CP or SP? Of course, it is client pull. Everyone knows that. Because if the client does not click on this button, there won't be any navigation. It is nothing which is happening automatically. So 100% client pull. And I've just called it as two scenarios. Client pull 1, where user has to take action. Client pull 2, redirect. Which one it is? CP1 or CP2? It is the first scenario. Everyone with me? So now imagine client has clicked the submit button. Can you tell me what will be the URL of the, don't tell me URL, tell me the URI of the next request. After the form is submitted, give me the URI. Okay, guys, you are missing out the context path. What you are giving me is the URL pattern. When I said URI, /day 4.2 /authenticate. Okay, so let's mention that. So after login form submission, and this is what exactly you can precisely you can trace with that inspect network tab. Okay, so after the this thing, the URL request sent will be this will be the same. The complete URL I'm mentioning. So for your understanding. Now, is this last bit ending in .html, .jsp, .css? No. So what it will be taken as URL pattern. So web container will look into the map and will check, is there any servlet? Later it will be something called as controllers, but we have not yet reached Spring MVC controllers. So currently only servlet. Is there any servlet mapped to this URL pattern? What is the answer? Is there, have you written any servlet? Yes. You have not written? Of course, yes, login servlet. So this is where your web container will open login servlet. Look at it and tell me, has it been loaded already or will it start the life cycle now? You know the answer. The life cycle has been already loaded. So what all steps have been done? Class loading, instantiation, and init. So let us look at the init method in a minute and then we'll proceed to request servicing. So spend half a minute looking at this init. Okay, so start. Which is, okay, let me start with the basic. Which is this init method you are inheriting from? Generic servlet. HTTP servlet doesn't do anything. We're just inheriting from generic servlet and overriding it. Who is going to call this method? Web container right at the startup exactly once. And what is the only thing we are doing here? Creating DAO instance. All statements reach. So how do you really revise? Here, just simply say control click. So the control will come to this user DAO constructor. Quickly recall. I'm not saying you read one by one because you already must be knowing DAO layer. Don't spend too much time on the DAO layer below, but at least you revisit what you have done. So here you are getting a fixed connection from DB utils, preparing that login query and keeping it in a pre-parsed, pre-compiled statement form. Clear so far? What is it we are doing in the constructor? Now the constructor returns, control comes back to login servlet. But now in this user DAO constructor, are we handling the exceptions or are we delegating it to the caller? Try catch or throws? Delegating. So naturally, okay, let me ask you, if you comment this try catch block, compile time error or no error? Compile time error. So why we could not? Okay, what will happen if I say here throws servlet exception, comma, SQL exception, legal or illegal, compiler error? Why? Overriding. This is your overriding form. This is not your own init method. We have not written here all at override. If you want to confirm, you can always add. It is overriding form inherited from that generic servlet. Overriding form of the method cannot add any new check exception. So which was the only solution? Adding, wrapping it in a try catch block. Understood it completely so far? Because while writing, we write it in a speed and maybe some points you forget or you don't understand. So that's why the revision. Now, if you say, for example, if I comment this and if I simply say SOP or e.print stack trace, there won't be any compile time error, runtime error. But what will be the disadvantage? Yeah, no error. But what is the disadvantage? What will be missing? Your web container will never know. Your web container will never know that something went wrong. Init method has failed. So assuming the success, will your web container continue with the life cycle of a servlet as in calling service? Answer is yes. And that will lead to fatal error. If the initialization has failed, the life cycle should not continue to service. So the question, how to inform, how to tell the, tell the container that initialization has failed. How do you tell the container? Yes, absolutely well said again. You have to throw the exception. But can you throw, are you allowed to throw any exception or only a specific exception? Specific exception. So if you just take a cursor here, you'll see a pop-up. Defines a general exception servlet can throw whenever it comes across a problem. So it is telling you, if you want to tell the container something goes wrong, best way to report is throwing the servlet exception. Okay, so that is the reason. Even if it is not compulsory, 100% recommended approach. This is nothing but called as centralized error handling. You are not handling the errors layer by layer. You are handling it at the topmost layer and also further telling the container all about it. So now which are the two arguments to this constructor? Just take a cursor here and you'll know error message and the root cause. Error message should definitely tell you which class, which method, etc. And the root cause which brought us here is the exception reference. So this is the information, maximum information supplied to the container. So tell me openly, honestly, frankly, is the init method fully clear? The way we write it typically? And why each and every word, why we wrote it in a particular manner? Clear? Okay. So of course, the control will go to the duplicate, but I'll just cover the destroy also and finish the story. Who is going to call this method? How many times and when? 3 questions. Who, how many times, when? Absolutely correct. Web container towards the end of the life cycle, just before garbage collection, exactly once. So after the destroy method, what will be the last stage of Java object, servlet object? Garbage collection. So what is it we should do before? What is it we should do in the destroy method? Cleaning up of non-Java resources. So currently I don't have files or sockets. All we have is a database connection, prepared segments. So we are simply calling a cleanup. But the same problem. What is the problem? If you take a cursor here, it includes in the throws clause SQL exception. Cannot add a new exception here. So we went for exception handling. I mean, we had to add a try catch. So now tell me, is it really compulsory to rethrow the exception to the web container here? It's not. Why? Because if you are already reached the end of the servlet lifecycle, after that, nothing is going to happen. But as a standard programming practice, if you say, no, I want to report each and every error to the container, which is the exception you are not allowed to throw? Any new checked ones. But can you throw an unchecked exception? Anytime. So what is runtime exception? Root of all unchecked exceptions, and this thing, what is it called? The constructor is the same, error message and the root cause. So tell me, under which conditions, which are the triggers under which your servlet container will call the destroy method? When will it call the destroy method? I know towards the end, yeah, server stop, absolutely correct. Any other triggers? There are two more triggers. If you reload the application, yes, undeployment, you uninstall, you say remove all. Or when you say this thing, reload the application, you make a change and you are reloading the application, 100% destroy method will be called. Okay, so that takes care of your init and destroy. Are we still good? Are we still crystal clear? Both the methods? No questions so far? Okay, now come to the real thing. So now the form is submitted. Let's remind, form was submitted. Init has been already called. So this public service calling protected service calling finally do post. So in the do star method, this is where we do the request processing, request servicing. So what are the two arguments? HTTP servlet request, HTTP servlet response. Who is going to create these objects? P or WC, programmer or container? Container creates it and gives it to you. And then the standard things are set the content type, which is not response header. You know, content type is the name of the header. And since we want to send the character-based buffered kind of a response, the method is getWriter. Just take a cursor here and parallelly read one-liner to revise. Returns a printWriter object that can send the character text to the client, which is what we want, text/HTML. Okay, now I'll highlight, you respond. What is happening in these two lines? Line number 64, 65. Already there is a comment. You are reading the request parameter sent from the client to server. What is the request parameter name? EM and pass. And since it is a HTTP hypertext transfer protocol, the values are also string. Now, who is calling whose method here? For which purpose? Your servlet. We are in the servlet, right? So servlet is calling DAO layer method for the authentication. Everyone clear? So here we are in the servlet. So login servlet is calling user DAO's method. So now control click, open the declaration. You already know about the DAO layer. So here we are setting those in parameters. Earlier we were getting these from scanner. You remember we were in tester, standalone desktop based application. So all scanner. That has been replaced by HTTP client, the web client, HTTP request. Since it is a select query, execute query. Email is unique. So I don't have to say while rst.next, if rst.next. So in case of valid login, we are simply lifting user details from database into result set and result set into. So we are doing here object to relational mapping. We are reading the result set data, the result set information and putting it in a Java object form and returning it to the caller. In case of invalid login, who is returning what to whom? DAO is returning null to the caller. Caller means servlet. Clear completely? Okay, so the control comes back to login servlet. This is the kind of revision I expect you. See, initial 2-3 days, I have to help you. Later, I can say, okay, later you'll know what I mean by how to revise and all. So later you don't have, you don't require my help. So coming back. So in case the invalid login, what will you get? Null or not null? You saw just now, null. And in that case, we can't take the user ahead in our website. So what we will do is, what is it we are doing here? Sending a message and a link, a retry link to the client. And when the client clicks on this retry link, you will send him, you'll again send him the login form, and the login will be reattempted. So tell me, invalid login branch, clear? Fully clear? Okay. So now come to the reals. When we start going ahead, else indicates what? A login success. Have I opened 4.2? Yeah, login success. So now I'm combining the revision of cookie-based session tracking also, and the URL, not URL rewriting, what is it called? Send redirect also. Okay. So now please open in one Paint or somewhere, keep the case study open so that you'll know exactly where we have reached. So we are here in the login servlet, and we want to, in the successful login case, we want to redirect the client to this topics page. Is the page flow clear? So when I say redirect, do you want to involve the client in clicking a button, clicking a link? Of course not. I want automatic navigation. So that is, so what will you call it? Which navigation? Client pull or a server pull? CP or SP? Client pull. Client pull 1, where the server pull is wrong. Server pull you have not seen. Server pull means no request comes from the client. That you will see tomorrow. Client pull. Client pull 1 or client pull 2. Client pull type 2. As in what? Here no user, human is not involved. Person is not involved. But client browser is going to send the next request, which we will revise in a minute. Okay. But after the redirection, when the control reaches here, suppose I want to confirm whether I've not written here, later I'll say hello followed by username, and these are the topics. So the point I'm trying to make is, after the successful login, I want to remember the client from login till logout. So which is the protocol we are working upon? HTTP. Stateless or stateful? Is it stateless in nature or stateful? Stateless. So can it automatically remember the client details? See guys, I'm making the statement. Here you have got the client details retrieved from the database. Can it remember all these details automatically till logout? Impossible. Why? Because every request which comes from the client is treated as a brand new request. Statelessness means that. So to make the protocol stateful, in order to remember the state of the client, conversational state of the client, what is it we have to do? Which is the technique we have to use is session tracking. Everyone understood the need of session tracking? And so there are two reasons. One is, you're not going to write this application only for one client. So there can be so many clients who are attempting your CMS. So we want to remember them separately. We want to identify them separately. Plus, remember individually from login to logout. That's why enter session tracking. So there are multiple ways you can do session tracking, which is the way we have discussed today. Cookie-based session tracking. Everyone gets it? So now revise. This is a revision of the concept like yesterday. Yes, plain cookies and the hands-on also. So coming back, what is the first thing? What is the first step in a cookie-based session tracking scenario? Tell me in steps. The first step, please. You have to create a cookie. So who is going to create a cookie? Client or a server? C or S? Server. Today we are in servlets. So I'm saying servlet will create a cookie. So now read parallelly step and the API. So the first step is create the cookie to store the validated user details. So which is the class which we are using here? Remember means you don't have to take extra effort. Just read it multiple times and you'll remember. We are into HTTP world. Name of the class is cookie and the cookie name and cookie value. So tell me, will you be able to store anything other than the text in cookies, such as Java objects, binary contents, streams and all? Absolutely not, because the cookie value is string. That is your first distinct disadvantage with the cookies. So I think this constructor should be pretty easy. You tell me, if you remove this toString, what will you get? Compiler error or no error? If you remove this toString, of course, compiler error. There's no constructor which has user object. So here we are creating the cookie with some name, any sensible name and the value. Got it so far? So now tell me, after this line number 76 is called, where is this cookie instance? On the server side, client side, both or neither? In the server side heap. It's an object, so created in the server side heap. But keeping the cookies on the server alone, sufficient or insufficient? Useful or useless? Of course, useless, insufficient. So immediately, what is the next step we do? You mean Servlet. Currently, you are in the Servlet programmer mode. So Servlet has to send the cookie from server to client. So tell me, how are cookies exchanged? As the response body, as in the body content or in the headers? They are exchanged in headers. So what are we setting? Response header or request header currently? Response header. The whole thing you can check it with that network tab. Inspect network tab, right? So you are adding the cookie in the response header, which is the method of a HTTP servlet response, add cookie. And what it takes in is the cookie instance. So this is your response.addCookie C1. Suppose I have created 4 cookies. Just 4 is just a number. C1, C2, C3, C4. How many times I'll have to call this method addCookie? 1 or 4 times. If there are 4 cookies to be set, of course I'll have to call it 4 times. It was just a virtual question. All we are going to create is, this is only for step 1 kind of thing. So only 1. Now the last part. See, if you count the lines, guys, there is 1, 2 and 3. But the explanation, you see, there are so many things which are happening internally. So now, when you say response.send redirect, client pull or server pull? Client pull. Client pull 1, client pull 2. Which one? Client pull 2. Is human as a person involved or not involved? Not involved. But is client browser involved in the navigation? 100% yes. Okay. So you definitely read after our combined revision is done, you definitely read, worth reading. They have given such a clear-cut description. Whatever I'm telling is from there. So let's start understanding. When you write response.send redirect, web container pitches in and does so many things. So what will be the first thing web container do? It starts sending a temporary redirect response. So tell me, what is the first thing it will do? It will, wait a second, I'll just maximize it. It will clear. Clear means it will empty. It will discard. What it will discard? The print writers buffer. Absolutely correct. It will clear the buffer. And in the response, what will be the status code? 302. So what is it? Success, client-side error, debugging, server-side error, or redirect? Redirect response code. Which will be the header it will add to supply the redirect location? Answer is the location itself. It's an uppercase L. Anyway, so location header. And whatever is the value you have supplied, that value will be set. Clear so far? The moment you have added the cookie, which header will be set? Set cookie header will be added. And what it will contain? The cookie name and the cookie value. And like we said already, since the entire buffer is discarded, the body content, the response body will be all empty. Understood completely what happens when you call response.send redirect? So two important headers you have to focus upon is location and set cookie. Okay, so now this response, okay, before that, I'll say something. If you suppose, where is that line? Oh, I've removed it, I think. Okay, suppose that was in 4.1. So here I can always write, suppose I add something here, you know, testing client pool 2. So I have a small question for you. If I write pw.print testing client pool 2 or testing redirect, better word is testing redirect scenario. So is this going to appear? Will these contents appear on the client side browser? 100% not. You are seeing that we have done it in day 4, I mean earlier version. Why? Because the moment you say the body content is all discarded, buffer is all cleared, emptied. So how can it appear? Definitely not. But if you follow it by explicit sending, committing the response, which is the exception you will get. Yeah, the illegal state exception, of course. I'll just stop the server. I don't need the server started. And you will definitely get the error message. What is the error message you will get? Web container will tell you explicitly, you cannot perform redirect after committing the response. You understood what I'm saying? Like I said, don't trust. Yes, it has already committed the response. So after sending the response, how can it discard the buffer? It cannot empty the buffer. Okay. So these are the things you have, I mean, worth understanding 100%, worth confirming. Don't just say that I have understood it. Try it out. It takes you 5 minutes or 2 minutes to test it out. Okay. So that will tell you the working of redirect scenario. So continuing the story. Now this response has been received by the web browser. Web browser takes a look at this redirect response code, and will it just sit there, or will it generate a new request automatically? Everyone knows the answer. It is going to send a new request. The moment you say new request, you have to think about URL. So see, listen, now listen to this. Tell me, in this case, have we supplied a relative location? Means location relative to current web application, or is it an absolute URL? Relative or absolute? We have given the relative. I have not said slash. I have not said slash, let's say banking, or slash payment gateway slash. So it is a relative. That is why it will pick up, it will create the URL having the same host, same port, and the same web application. And seen it in the first half. Today, now you have whole code. Oh, there's a lag. Yeah. I know. I think at this time things go break down. Yeah. I know it's a coincidence, I guess. I don't know. I'll just repeat. I said, this is the URL. This is the request URL of the next request. And the method it will use is definitely get, because it's a default method. And most importantly, here, oh, I forgot something. I forgot something in the discussion. Sorry. Rewind. Rewind means this response has been sent to the client browser. So client browser has noted the location, and the moment it sees the cookies, will it blindly, it means will client browser blindly store the cookies, or will it check for something first? It will check. What it will check? Privacy settings. Meaning what? Are cookies enabled or disabled, accepted or blocked? So let us say cookies are blocked. Then what in that case, what can happen? Will session tracking work? Will the cookies be saved anywhere? Answer is no. You got it? But if the cookies are accepted, then what is the next check your not container, so sorry, client browser will do? What will it check? The max age. So what is the default max age of any cookie? If you don't set it, -1. So when the age of the cookie is -1, where will be the cookie stored? In the browser cache. Meaning, if you clear the cache, if you exit the browser, the cookies are gone, right? Locally they are stored, correct? So this was the thing which we forgot to mention. But if you give the value as 0, you mean server is telling the client browser to delete the cookie. If the value is, let us say 5,000 is the unit is seconds. For next 5,000 seconds, client browser will persist the cookie in one of the folders on the client side hard disk. So currently just worry about -1. Yeah, now continue. So imagine that cookie has been stored. So coming back to point, this is the URL. This is the request URL of the next request. This is the requesting method. And along with other request headers, additional header will be added. What is the header name now? This is a request header, cookie. In the response header, it was set cookie. Request header, it is cookie. The name is, of course, whatever you have given to the cookie, user details, and toString. ToString means whatever that user codes or toString, the value. And this is how you have navigated the client from login servlet to topics page in the next request, new request, coming all the way from the client side, so referred as client pull. Understood the statement so far? All the statements? And like I said, this has to be backed up by running and checking and pressing the inspect option and that network tab and all that. So now, which is the next request? Okay, I did not mention. So let us mention all this. So here, the next one. So in case, so after the form is submitted, in case of invalid login, what will be the response? So sorry, I should say not 6. So after the login form, in case of invalid login, what will be the response? The response will contain the retry link. Okay, but what is important is, in case of success, what will be the response? This will be your temporary redirect response, which has status code 302, which has the header set, location, and set cookie header, and the body content, response body, is all empty. Okay, so as the next request, the redirect request. So redirect request generated from the client browser. I'll share this. What will be the URL of the next request, which is automatically sent from the client is? Tell me just the URL pattern. What will be the URL pattern? /topics. Very right. Same story repeats. Since it is not ending in any .jsp, .js or whatever, your container will take it as a URL pattern. It will refer to the map and you tell me, is there any servlet mapped to /topics URL pattern, or there's no servlet? Of course, there is a servlet. So which is the servlet it will refer to for the servicing? Everyone knows the answer. Open the second servlet. We could write only 2 servlets. Couple of servlets today. So here, this is your topic servlet. Is it all matching? Absolutely yes. So we are in the correct place. Same question. Has the life cycle been already started, or will it start after the first request? Lazy or eager, in short? It is lazy. So first it will do the class loading, instantiation followed by init. After that, service, which will end up calling the doGet. Everyone clear how the container ends up calling, or how your service method ends up calling doGet? First 2 statements are the same. Setting content type, getting the writer. This is to indicate that, okay, you have reached the, this is the content coming from topics page. Now tell me, we wanted to retrieve the user details. So can I really retrieve it from the request? It's a Boolean question. Can one retrieve the details? Nilesh, you will know about this. Hold on this. Okay, let me answer you immediately. Anyone wants to answer, Nilesh? Why we are not? Don't say using, Nilesh. Ask better why we are not overriding the init and destroy method. No, Girish, I will not accept your answer. Anyone wants to answer, Nilesh? He's asking why we have not overridden init and destroy. Because so far, whatever I could discuss, I did not need any one-time initialization, anything specifically to be done in one-time initialization. So, which is the superclass of our class, Nilesh? HTTP Servlet. What is the superclass of HTTP Servlet? Generic Servlet, which has already supplied you with the default implementation, and we are okay with that. Okay, so this is the reason we are not overriding. Trust me, in 10 minutes, when I tell you the next instructions, if you want, you will definitely need to override. All that will. Currently, I'm happy with the default init and default destroy, so we did not override because there is nothing to be done in init and destroy. So continue. Yeah. So I was asking you, how do you, where are the user details? Can you take it from request as in request parameters? Of course not. Why? Because once the earlier request response flow is over, you cannot remember the client across multiple requests. But where we have stored the details? In a cookie. We are discussing cookie enabled scenario. So can I retrieve those validated user details from a cookie? 100% yes. Which is the method? HTTP Servlet request has a method, get cookies. Just take a cursor over there and read it. It's a two-liner. Returns the array of all the cookies which client has sent with the request. Client means client browser. And what it will return is null in case no cookies were sent. So the first important check is null or not. In case of null, it's quite clear that there were no cookies. No cookies means no remembering the client, no session tracking. Is the else branch clear? Is the else part clear? Okay. The if branch, if the cookies are not null. But the point is this cookies represent an array. So I'll have to access the cookie whose name is user details. So which is the method to find the name of the cookie? Get name. So solve it from, okay, this is just an iterator. For each cookie, C in cookies. If you don't want this imperative style code, you can always use arrays dot this thing. What is it called? Stream and in the bracket cookies. Either way, I mean, it's okay. Okay, so you just iterate and you say if the get name, if the name of the cookie is user details, that means we have found a match. Are we interested in the name of the cookie or its value? Where are the user details stored? In the value? Which is the method to extract the value? Get value. I'll just zoom out, zoom in. So here, so then I am just, if I have found the match, if I've got the cookie by the name user details, I'm extracting the value and giving the success message or whatever message that these are your user details from the cookie. So this is where we had stopped in the first half. So this was a, I hope, detailed revision. So you go through it and whatever I said or whatever you observed, you did not understand, definitely ask me questions. Getting the feel of it? Yes, exactly. So the whole job of IDEA J2 is like this. You end up writing 1 or 2 liners and web container does so much for you. Yes. So are the things reaching you guys? Are you understanding? Okay, very good. If you're enjoying it, that is too good for me. Really, I mean, I really appreciate it. So now, so you have now so many options. One option is you do, I mean, still, if you want light revision and all, of course you can do it. at your own pace, at your own this, looking at the network tab, or I can discuss. Oh, you have a question, Shubham? Just give me a minute. Just give a second. Or I have a suggestion. I'll discuss the verbally the what do you say? How will you create this topics page? And you can definitely create it with some inputs. So before I start, yes, Shubham, you are asking me a question. Tell me. MIME. MIME is a short form for multimedia internet-based mail extension. So MIME types are the famous MIME types. You can just Google MIME type. Text/HTML is one of the MIME type, which is a favorite data type, which is the favorite response content type to send the response. Other famous one which we will use in REST APIs is application/JSON or image/GIF. These are the MIME types which we use for data exchange. Content types basically. Anything else? So guys, please run this in the cookies enabled, cookies disabled mode with multiple users and test it. So tell me, can we discuss in the next 5-10 minutes? Okay, 5 is less, maybe 10 minutes, how you are going to continue to this page, or do you want to spend, I mean, do you need some time? I would say we will discuss it. Anyway, the rest of the remaining lab session is still there for you, so that you will be able to continue with the whole thing. Everyone is okay with that? So I'm discussing, Abhijit, I'm discussing it in the next 10 minutes, and remaining whatever time you spend. You could be in the middle of revision, your own revision. I respect that, but you continue. Just give me 10-15 minutes max to max, so that I will help you with the discussion of how to design this. So what are we discussing is the topics page. You can continue developing the content management system there. So tell me, this is the topics page. So have we got any topics yet lifted from the data? Is this content ready or not yet ready? No, I don't think you understood me. Okay, let me rephrase my question. Have we written this code in the servlet which will display this content? Of course not. Okay, so I'll talk in steps and release in the sense continue, allow you to continue on your own. So tell me, listen to the question. I'm asking you pointer questions. Does this topic servlet need any database access? It's a Boolean question, yes or no? Of course, yes. Everyone agrees. Why? Because is this a static content, or are these the contents you're going to lift all the way from the database? Of course, dynamic contents lifted from the database. Clear? Now, do you want to write a data access logic here in the servlet, or have we already have we already written it elsewhere? We've already written. So can you tell me? So see, we had user Pojo, user DAO, user DAO implementation. So for completing this page, which Pojo will you require? Topic Pojo. Which is the DAO layer you will require? topic DAO and its implementation. Everyone can manage it. Has everyone written it? I think I have given the interface, but I don't want to supply the ready-made code. You should do that. Okay, so where are we? Just a second. 4.2 DAO. Okay, Pojos. So Pojos, I think I have already added a topic Pojo. You must be having your own. Don't refer to mine. Use your own. And topic DAO. Get all topics. And oh, I don't have the implementation, but you can write that. Have you written? You have written, so you don't have to like worry. I mean, I'm not writing, you are writing. That's your lab work. So let me ask you clearly, everyone either has written or everyone can manage the topic DAO implementation? That is just a more practice of JDBC. I had told you already. If you have written it, very good. Now tell me, so see, your topic Pojo is ready. Your DBUtils was already ready, and topic DAO is also ready. So now continue working in the servlet. So now, what do you say? Open the topic servlet and let me ask you. Once you say topic servlet needs the data access layer, DAO access layer, now think and tell me, will you need to override now, init and destroy, or still not needed? The moment I say it requires DAO layer, are you understanding? Somebody had asked me, I forgot the name, that Abhijit, I guess, why I had not overridden init and destroy? Because I was happy with the default implementation. But now, 100% you will need to override init and destroy. So tell me, I'm solving it verbally because you have to try something on your own. So what will you do? Obviously, you will override init method, parameterless, and the destroy method. So what will you add in the init method of topics page? It's kind of straightforward, I feel. Topic DAO instance, yes. So Prashant has given me something. So tell me, Prashant, will you create this DAO as a method local variable, or will you declare it as an instance variable? Method local or instance variable? Of course, instance. Everyone knows that. And will you, so of course you'll get a unhandled checked exception. So try catch, you will put in the init or throws. Try catch. Will you keep the catch as e.print_stack_trace, or will you rethrow the exception to the web container? Rethrow the exception. Which is the exception you are allowed to throw? Servlet exception. So in short, throw new servlet exception and the error message and the root cause. Everyone clear? 100%? Okay, next. You will have to override the destroy method. What will you do from the destroy method? Opposite thing. Yeah, so tell me, what will you do? Whose cleanup method you will call? Which DAO layers cleanup method you will call? Topic DAOs. Okay. And again, the same thing. Try catch, and you can rethrow it as a runtime exception. But you have a small problem here. So let me point out the problem. Open your, I don't have the topic DAO implemented. I have somewhere in the ready-made code, but I've not yet picked up. So open the user DAO implementation. Very similarly, you must have written the topic DAO. Take a look at cleanup and tell me, is there something you would like to modify? Answer is yes, you will like to modify. Can you specify? I'll make it clearer. I said there is something you need to modify in the cleanup. Yes, please. Connection, not cleanup. Very right. Guys, I hope you remember we are having, okay, it's not a memory game ever, understanding. So please open our DBUtils. Okay. And in DBUtils, we have got a singleton instance. So guys, this is little bit on JDBC side, not on the servlet side. So can you tell me, for this entire case study, how many how many DAOs you are going to use? Let me see whether you are understanding or not. Only one DAO. No, I'm not asking how many DAO instances. How many different DAOs are you going to use? One is a wrong answer, 3. I wanted the answer 3. User DAO, topic DAO, and tutorial DAO. Everyone with me so far? So every DAO will have a constructor and a cleanup. So constructor is fine. In the constructor, where is that constructor? Here. In the constructor, we are saying open connection, and we have already taken care of singletoning. So even if I call this open connection method 3 times, because of 3 DAO layer, how many connections are we going to really have? 1 or 3? Everyone is understanding me? So how can you close one single connection 3 times? Are you seeing the problem? You understood the problem? That is why, guys, I have already written a separate method, close connection. Are you understanding it? So what is the slight change you'll have to do in your DAO layer? Do not clean up, do not close the connection from here. In one of those destroy methods of your login servlet or anything, simply call which method you will call for closing the connection, that one common method. So in DBUtils, you just shift the code to close the connection and call it. Understood or lost? Understood the changes? Otherwise, you simply do it. You'll start getting some problem somewhere, maybe because you cannot close a connection which is already closed. But I'm not 100% sure whether you will get an exception or not. So then you will realize if you see the exception. Okay, so I hope you understood. So focus on one page at a time. Topics page, override. Override what? Init, destroy, do get is already overridden. And in init, create the DAO instance. In destroy, topic DAO.cleanup. Everyone can visualize the code so far? Init and destroy is clear? Okay. Now the next part. Next part is getting this content. So here you are into the topic servlet. Where is that? Topic servlet. Okay. So now tell me. You have already, this code you can continue, or anytime you want, you can start from scratch, no problem. So now in the user is present here. So in the if branch, you will continue here. Where is it? Yeah, here. So now I'll just help you with pointers. So I have retrieved the user details. I can find out all the user details. But my main job is getting the topic details. So anyone wants to tell me, who has to call whose method now to get the topic details from the underlying database and all? Who has to call whose method? Servlet has to call the topic method. So here, the servlet, which servlet? Topic servlet. Topic servlet should invoke, should invoke or invokes whose method? The topic DAO's method. Are you getting this? We have already nicely separated topic DAO's, which method? That get all topics. Understood the flow? It is like earlier I was calling validate user. Here you are going to call get all topics. Okay. What is so I don't have the implementation, but I can always explain from the this thing interface. What is it going to return to you? List of all the topics. So now you have got the list of all topics inside topics page. So this method returns you list of topics. All statements clear so far? Okay. But now, if I just say, listen to this. So this is a list. This is iterable. So either use dot for each or simply use for each as a loop. And if I just display the topics, that response will be sent back to the client. But will I give this radio buttons and the submit button and all that? Answer is no. So I would recommend do it in 2 steps. So first test only this much, whether you are getting that data lifted from the database DAO layer and all. So you will know that your DAO layer and servlet is integrated well. But then you will realize I want to give the radio buttons and everything. So tell me, again the same question, is this a static content or is this a dynamic content you want to generate? Everyone understands dynamic. So will you need a servlet for this or will you need a HTML page for this? A servlet. So now after getting this, what is it you'll have to do? I think everyone understands this. This is nothing but a form. So from where you will have to generate this HTML form? From the servlet itself. Are you understanding? So here we'll have, like how in our React, you know, we add those input type form generation. We do it in a JSX manner. Here you are doing it in the Java. That we do it in JavaScript file, .js file. Here you are doing it from Java. Similar. I'm just trying to give you the similarity. So here, dynamic form generation. So when I say dynamic form generation, you don't have to start with HTML head and body. You can start with the form tag. But before that, any response you want to send from servlet to client, How do you send that response? Where do you pass it? What do you pass it through? Print writer. Absolutely correct. So just as a help, because you are doing it for the first time, pw.print, you just have to recall your HTML syntax. So a form tag. What are the two attributes with the form? Method and the action. So you can supply, you can take any method. I am not too particular. Method equal to get, method equal to post, and supply the action. And what will be the action, guys? Don't answer blindly. What will be the submit action? What on submit kind of thing? Where do you want to submit this form? Anyone wants to tell me? What will be the form action? No, choose topic is the label of the button, Piyush. What will be the form action? Tutorial. So for example, I'm just giving you an example so that you know all of us will be clear. Suppose we don't have this page, you know that. Suppose you say, I'm going to have the, I'm going to write, I mean, not I, you are going to write the next page with the URL pattern of /tutorials. What will be the form action? Obvious question. Tutorials. Are you understanding? The form is going to be submitted to the URL of the next page. Okay, next page does not exist. You are currently building this page. So accordingly, give me the form method, form action. And now what will be the input type? Which is the input type? Obvious question. Which is the input type you're going to give me here? The radio button. Everyone is clear? So it will be, again, I'm helping you with this. What I'll do is I'll take this as a help and put it in the notes. I mean here. So we have done this. So help on dynamic form generation. In which servlet? In topics. Sorry. Topics servlet. Okay. So you just have to pass through the print writer. So I'll say this properly. So what do you say? Generate HTML form dynamically. Generate HTML form and pass it through the print writer. So I'm not writing that pw.print, that much you can manage. So form method action, I'm not writing the values, and somewhere you will have the closing form tag. Now I'm just highlighting important things. So tell me, this radio buttons, will they be, what is it, static or dynamic? Of course, dynamic. How many these things? How many radio buttons you will end up displaying? No, 4 is just current number. No, don't go by this, what I've written. Depends on how many, guys, open, select star from topics. Currently, the answer is 4. I know that, but depends on tomorrow. I can add one more topic. I can add a topic as Hibernate, and under Hibernate, I can publish n number of tutorials. Are you getting it? So depends on how many rows, how many records in the topics table. All clear? As per the data in the database. So now, last and final thing. So here, within this, I don't know how many radio buttons. So anyone wants to tell me, how will you know how many radio buttons? Loop iteration, exactly. So here, you will have a for each. Are you understanding things? I don't want you to feel lost. I want you to try out. You have already got this list of topics. So simply, I'll say it in this, iterate over list of topics. Okay. And once you say this, you know input type radio very well. Input type equal to radio. This is going to be in double quotes. So you can add a single quote. Now tell me, any radio button has a name and a value, right? So name is equal to, you'll tell me something, and the value is equal to something. When I say dots, you're going to tell me. And of course, there will be a label to the radio button. So start answering. So what will be the name to the radio button? So I got it. I got it as a topic, any name, basically ABC. So if you say topic, I'm okay with that. It's a static one, but the value is going to be dynamic. So how, if it was React, if it was JSX, how you would have done it? Dollar and curly braces to get the value of expression. Everyone remembers React, right? So, but here I don't have it. So how will I do it? Unfortunately, you will have to close that pw.println. Anyway, so I'll not say this, and you just get the extract. I'll see this dynamic value of. Now you tell me. We are iterating over the topic Pojo. So what are the two things topic Pojo has? Topic ID and topic name. So can you tell me what is it you want to bind as the value of the, I'll repeat the question because I'm getting both the answers. I'm saying, what is it you want to attach as the radio button value? You have two choices, topic ID or topic name. You see guys, you can do it either way, but here is the answer. And I'll tell you the answer. I mean, I don't want to give you the answer. I just want to point you to the answer. Not here, sorry. Wait a sec. Now tell me, after looking at this, what is it you want to bind? Are you understanding? Guys, you have to think. We have already taken a call. If we had said that, if we had written, you had written this things, what is it? The tutorial, this thing, using topic name, which involves subquery or join on two tables, then yes, you could have said topic name. I have made it easier for you. So we have already expecting a topic ID. So tell me again. Because if I give an answer, then it is like, I'm stopping your thinking. What will you bind? The value, I am so sorry, topic ID or topic name. Everyone understood my thinking? I mean, my suggestion? Because you have already written the down layer. Why spoil that? Okay, that way. So here, of course, it will be topic ID. And how will you get it? You have a, I'll talk in code. For each topic T in that topics, T.getID will give you that. Okay, so then that is why I was saying, if I were you, I will give the name also appropriate, so that you know later you will know that this is the topic ID which I am binding here. Okay, you have done form binding in React. Similar form binding you will see, but much later in Spring MVC. So today you will have to struggle. Last question. The radio button has a label. So this is that label which you have. So now tell me, it's an easy question. I hope it is an easy question. How will you give me the label? Topic ID or topic name? I want to see this, not DAO dot, T dot, topic dot get name. Okay, so here you will get the, give me the topic name. So this is the only critical thing. So spend a minute with on your own. This is your dynamic form generation, which involves pw.print, pass the entire form tag, form method action, iterate over the topic list, generate the radio buttons dynamically. Which part is dynamic? Name is not dynamic. Name is standard, topic ID, or you can say topic if you want. Value has to be the topic ID, and the label has to be which topic. Let's say Spring topic or Servlets topic or filters topic or security or whatever. Okay. And then in addition to this, give me a submit button. In short, input, type, submit. Okay. So, you know, value and all, and that value will be choose something, choose topic. So this is what will complete, This is what will complete your topic speech. I'm going to share all these instructions with you, of course, but can you visualize? Do you think you will be able to manage it? At least try it out. Okay, so now this is what I wanted to spend time with you on instructions. So give it a try. After you click the submit button, after you are this, of course, you'll get HTTP 404. So then you write that next one. Which one? that form action tutorials or something and test whether the form is getting submitted and a correct topic ID, whether it is being sent to the next page. If and only if majority or let's say everyone finishes this, then I'll discuss the next page after you tell me that, okay, we have managed this. Is the discussion clear? Have you got something? I mean, have you got some idea, little bit confidence that you can try? Okay, so I will send you this, the modified instructions right away in case they help you and start working on it. So I'll just say, make a copy. If it is your own project, of course, continue, or you can copy, you can make it as day 4 lab. This is your lab assignment, continuation of the case study, day 4 lab, and start working on it right away. One sec, I'll just, and then of course I'm all free. So you can tell me, I can look into your individual problems and help you. Before that, let us send you things. Day 4 data. Okay, so I've sent you the modified instructions. By the end of the day, I'll upload it on Google Drive. Start working. Anytime you get stuck, you feel lost, you feel confused, talk to me. And one more suggestion, keep the cookies enabled. Currently, work with the cookies enabled one. Disabled part URL rewriting, later we will try. Continue. Yes, Kunal, I'll repeat that point. So let me ask you, Kunal, let me close everything. How many DAOs you will have in this case study? How many DAO layers? I already said yes to it. So like, listen, how many DAO layers, how many DAO classes will you have in this case study? Tell me that. 3. Which 3? You know this. User DAO, topic DAO, tutorial DAO. So if you open any one of DAOs and if you say this cleanup, so if you do it in the earlier manner, how many times you will be closing the connection? 3 times. But if you see little bit about DBUtils, totally together, how many connections you are taking it from the database? 1 or 3. How many connections are getting created is 1. So how many times you should be saying close connection? I mean cn.close. 1 time or 3 times? Of course, 1 time. Are you getting it? That is why I said remove it from the DAO layer. So because it will appear in every DAO layer. So comment this out. Instead, what is it I have already given you? I have given a separate method, close database, close connection. So anyone wants to tell me from where will you call this close connection method? You'll have to call it. It doesn't get called automatically. From where will you call it? This close connection method? No clue? Destroy method. Very right, Shubham. Whose destroy method? All servlets destroy method or only one servlets destroy method? Login servlet. Okay, all. Rajiv, again you have a same problem. Guys, if you start calling that close connection from all the servlets, you are back to the same problem. You're closing that same connection multiple times. So you choose. The first page is login servlet. So close it from here. In short, if I talk in code, let me talk in code to make you comfortable. Here. What will be the modified one? Init, no change. What will be the change in the destroy? First, you clean up the user DAO where you are just closing the prepare statement. And what will be the next line of the code? Anyone? What will you write next? Yes, it's not connection.close connection. It is DBUtils. That method I've added in DBUtils, DBUtils.close connection. So the connection will get closed. That singleton connection instance will get closed exactly once. Clear now? Understood what I said about that? So you just have to maintain that open connection we have already written, but this connection we have not written that way. So I suggested that. Any more such doubts? Any more such questions, confusion? So if there are none, start working on it. Those whose POJOs and the DAO layer is not ready, first create topic DAO, topic POJO, topic DAO implementation, and then continue to work on the topics page. I'm all here. Anytime you need help, talk to any of us. Start. Whichever servlet has in it. Again, you are confused, looks like. Which method? This method means which method, Aman? Be clear. Which method you want to call in the destroy method? Okay, let's be clear. I think you are still confused, Aman. Wait a second. Login servlet, you have overridden init and destroy. So tell me, in login servlet ka init, what will you call? User DAO instance. Story over. In the destroy method of login servlet, what will you call? Tell me, Aman. First, dbutils.close. I'm so sorry. First, DAO.cleanup and then close connection. Got me so far, Aman? Yes or no? Something?
No, ma'am.
Did not understand?
No.
It wasn't so difficult at all. Open this thing. This part, change or no change? Tell me, Aman.
No change. No change.
Change or no change. Now tell me, will you still call user.cleanup from login servlet? Yes or no? Not just him. Anyone can answer.
No, ma'am.
Call it?
No, ma'am.
Of course you will call it. You will call it, Aman. Only thing is, in this cleanup method, what is it that you will not close?
ये connection.
Connection, right? So यहाँ से निकाल दो. Remove that. Comment it. Because you have other DAOs also and everyone starts closing the same shared connection, you will have a problem. Understood or not?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Okay.
I am not sure. Let me continue. So this was for the login servlet. Now open the topic servlet. So in the topic servlet, you will override init and destroy. Init में क्या करोगे? What will you do in init? Create DAO instance. Which DAO instance you will create in the topic servlet, guys? Topic DAO instance. You got me? Topic servlet ke, in the init method of the topic servlet, topic DAO instance. So that goes without saying. But what will you do in the destroy method of a topic servlet? I'll give you choices. Topic DAO.cleanup, option 1. dbutils.close connection, option 2. Both or neither. Did not understand the question? I said option 1 is a very right answer because login servlet is anyway going to close that connection. So just call somehow in any of the servlet, login servlet is the best choice. Just call that close connection exactly once and that will be end of your troubles. Try it out. If you get problems stuck and all, show me the code. I'll fix it. I'll help you. Okay? Aman, you got it? Little bit at least? Okay, continue, guys. I'll be back in an exact minute. Yeah, I'm back. If you have any doubts, any questions, anything you want to share from your code, you can do that. Otherwise, proceed with the revision, assignment, whatever you feel like.
मैम
Yes, tell me, Rajiv.
मैम हम लोग तो टॉपिक में भी हम लोग अपना जो है यूजर में भी टॉपिक में भी ट्यूटोरियल में भी तीनों में भी हम लोग ओपन कनेक्शन कर रहे हैं तो
हाँ,
तीनों बार क्लोज नहीं करना पड़ेगा मैम मतलब
अरे ओपन कनेक्शन का कोड देखा आपने? Just look at the open connection code. So tell me, I think you're still stuck there. How many times your open connection method is going to be called? Rajiv, कितनी बार कॉल होगी ये मेथड? एक बार या तीन बार? How many times it is going to be called? 3 times. But even if I call it 100 times, how many connection instances it is going to return? Same singleton connection or different connection?
मैम सिंगल
हाँ, तो फिर क्लोज कितनी बार करना पड़ेगा? एक बार या तीन बार? एक बार. Got it? That was the point.
Ma'am, my yesterday's day 3.1 classes, what we did in lab, it's not showing in the folder right now. Actually, it is in the file explorer, but it's not showing in STS. Can I share screen?
Yeah, of course. So first tell me this one, Girish, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Show me your day 3 ka data. Don't show me the STS first because I don't know how you have imported the project. First show me.
I've not imported, ma'am. I actually did along with you. So this
Okay,
is,
so tell me, I did not understand your question then. Tell me, what is it you want to ask?
actually this page is
Okay.
everything is showing here, but it's not showing in STS ID. The day 3.1 class and this empty. I tried to import the same, but it failed.
Okay.
Saying some
So
copy.
एक second करते हैं. Right click on day 3.31 class web. Right click, delete करो, delete, and yeah, just say okay. नहीं, okay then. Okay. Now file import. General. Yes. Go to that folder. Browse करके. Yeah. Say select folder and say here copy. There's a copy projects in workspace. Yeah. So no, it is saying already exists. So you have this one. Who is it? You have already the project by the same name, some other project. So you want it is that is why it is not allowing you. It is saying it is cannot be imported all of that.
But
Okay. So
एक ही है project मैम यहाँ पे.
no, but in the workspace there is. Let me try this out. Just a second. I'll take the control here. Easier for me. So can you take me to this thing? STS. Just open that STS, please. Yeah, wait a second. Some projects cannot be imported because they already exist in the workspace. Okay, so it's cancel here. Hey, actually, one more thing. No. I should have said something. Cancel nahi karna tha. Ek second now. Uncheck this checkbox. And then still it is not allowing. Okay, say cancel.
Okay.
Okay, wait a second. So here, because somewhere it is finding it by the same name. I don't know really. So here, let me close all your close all the earlier projects because I don't know whether I'm controlling the screen. You have two screens looks like. So don't close the server project ever like huh?
Yes, ma'am.
So this is fine. Okay, so now let's now let me do that.
Yes.
File. Import. So now let me say browse and Java EE workspace. Okay, one more thing we could have done. Anyway, let's see. 3.1 karna tha na?
Yes.
So you don't have this anywhere. I don't see that. Select folder.
Now it's selected here.
So it is fine now. Do this. I'm just checking if I say copy. Let's not copy because it is already there. Let's see whether it is working. Okay, so it allowed us to import at least. It must be having some name clash issues. And let's see SRC main Java pages. Yeah, again.
Yes.
So
Okay.
I think, in one of those projects which we closed, maybe there is a name clash. So anytime, Ganesh, you are creating a project, create it with a different name, distinct name, okay? Otherwise, you might land up into problems. Continue.
Thank you, ma'am.
Hello, ma'am.
Yeah, tell me. Yes,
Ma'am,
Kritika?
actually, my problem is with the user login.
Okay.
Whenever I'm logging in with the customer ID, email ID, and password, it's not. It's giving me the invalid user error.
You show
And-
me, na? You show me.
Yes.
Share your screen so I can see that instead of guessing.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah. Ma'am, so can you see my screen?
Yeah, I can see your screen.
Ma'am, so whenever I'm giving Kiran's login,
There is a space, white space, a backspace karo. Kritika, go to email. Email.
okay.
And there is this thing. There was a white space. I think you had added extra. So at the end, go to the end of krgmail.com. Yeah, remove that white space. Yeah, backspace. Right. Only this much. Yeah. Right. And 1, 2, 3. I don't know. That could be one of the problems. 1, 2,
Okay.
3 was the password.
Yes. So
Oh, still it is giving that. Okay. So show me the database.
फिर से बैक
Yes,
स्पेस आ गया था, वो स्पेस आ गया था ना.
फिर से space आ गया था. Remove that, Kritika. This if you have a So anyway, type it again. This one, Kritika. Don't waste your time at all.
yes, ma'am. So should I type it like on my own?
Type it again. So it will be like gmail.com निकाल दो. हाँ अभी करो type. Enter a tab. I mean, yeah.
स्पेलिंग
Spelling was wrong now.
Oh, sorry.
Kiran.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. So that was the only thing, the mismatch.
Yes, ma'am.
Continue.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Welcome. Of the service framework backend. This one, Ragini, I can't make that decision for you. You have learned Node.js. You will be learning with me the Java front backend, that is Spring Boot and Spring Data JPA. And later you will also have exposure to .NET. So depending on your comfort level, depending on what is it which you are understanding, enjoying, and want to explore, you can do that. Because there is simply no way that you can try it on multiple backends. So after comparing the technologies, you will have a feel which one you have understood, which you are comfortable, which one you are liking. Accordingly, take a decision. Because if you see market share, I won't say ASP.NET as much, but Node.js projects are also plenty, and Java backend projects are also plenty. So that's your personal decision. I mean, your individual decision. Depending on the comfort level is all I'll say. And then another key factor is you have to ask yourself where you want to, work more. Because typically interview questions are focused a lot more on your projects. So if suppose you say, no, I want to pursue my career in ASP.NET, for example, then you have to choose the technology accordingly, likewise. That way. Yeah, just a second. Updated instruction file. Yeah, of course, Swati. I'm just not uploading it on Google Drive in case we want to modify. I'm sending you once again. Updated instructions I've sent. Most welcome. Anyone even requires any help in, completing the DAO layer, anywhere you are stuck, ask any question, whatever, wherever you are stuck, I will definitely try to help.
हॅलो मॅम.
Yeah, tell me.
मॅम एक डाऊट होता मला.
हा बोल ना.
डिस्ट्रॉय मेथड मध्ये मी सिस आउट लिहिलंय पण ते सर्व्हर वरती दिसत नाहीये, तर ते कधी दिसणार?
वेन यू स्टॉप द सर्व्हर, डिस्ट्रॉय मेथडचा ट्रिगर काय आहे? जेव्हा तू सर्व्हर शटडाऊन करतो, स्टॉप सर्व्हर बटन आहे ना, तिथे स्टॉप सर्व्हर केलास की ते
Square वर-
डिस्ट्रॉय मेथड कॉल होईल. I'll show
स्क्वेअर
you.
का मॅम?
हा, एक सेकंद मी तुला फुल स्क्वेअर. सो फॉर एक्झाम्पल, आता तुझा सर्व्हर मी रन केला फॉर एक स्टार्ट करते इथे. सो इट इज डिप्लॉयड द ऍप्लिकेशन. आता सर्व्हर टॅब वर जा आणि हा रेड स्क्वेअर आहे, ते दिसतंय माझं, हे स्टॉप द सर्व्हर.
येस
ओके,
मॅम.
कन्सोल मध्ये तुला दिसेल युजर डाव हॅज बीन क्रिएटेड. ओके, सो वेन यू स्टॉप द सर्व्हर, क्लिकिंग ऑन द सर्व्हर, इथे सर्व्हर टॅब वरती जाऊन क्लिक करायचं. डोंट यूज धिस वन, कारण तो प्रॉपरली सर्व्हर शटडाऊन करत नाही.
येस येस.
ठीक आहे, सर्व्हर टॅब वरती
ओके
जाऊन
मॅम.
यू क्लोज इट हिअर आणि मग प्रॉपर कॉल बॅक्स, हुक्स कॉल होतात आणि हिअर इन डिस्ट्रॉय आणि हे सगळं कॉल होईल. कळलं कोणाल?
ओके ओके ओके. येस मॅम.
ट्राय.
येस मॅम. थँक्यू मॅम.
Anyone having any questions regarding DAO layer, POJOs, database, or servlets, feel free to ask. Don't keep the doubts to yourself. Any simplest to advanced doubt, I'll try to solve. I have uploaded on Google Drive the updated advanced Java lab instructions and this for your help. So guys, I'm planning to log off. Before I log off, are there any specific questions? Anyone wants to share the screen or ask any question?
Ma'am, can you repeat about the exception handling? This in this.
We will do that tomorrow because just recently, just 1 hour ago, I said everything about exception handling in English. So sleep over it. When I say sleep over it, you know, go through the sequence. I've described there the centralized error handling. And tomorrow, anyway, in a quick revision manner, I'm going to take that. So that time, if you are still not clear, ask me question. I'll repeat that. Okay. Just give
Okay.
yourself some time, please. Is there, Ankit, I'm reading your question. How map-based structure is formed when servlet? No. The Ankit, that is all the understanding which you get over experience. When I take you to this thing, Spring, there is a way. There are debug options to find out that internal map, request mapping map and all. But in servlet infrastructure, there is no, I mean, they don't give out that information.
Yes, ma'am, because as you told about us, key and values are used, but I am very curious to know that how
Yeah, I
internal
understand.
structures are.
I told you, but it is Tomcat doesn't reveal that. It's their like internal working. Wait for Spring MVC topic to begin, and I'll be able to show you using some debugging options. You can actually see the entries in the map. So
Okay, ma'am.
later, sometime in the next week.
Okay, thank you.
Any more questions for me? Okay, so that will be all then from my side. Do try, as usual, without taking the pressure of completing this topics page. Try to first understand everything. Today's 2 highlights, rather 3 highlights were Servlet plus database integration, Servlet JDBC integration, page navigation, client pull, and the third thing was session tracking based on cookies. So even if you revise whatever we have done together, tomorrow morning, after doing a quick revision, for example, somebody was asking, Nilesh was asking exception handling. So that part, I'm going to solve this. But that when I say I'm going to solve it, you don't wait for me to solve. If you have already solved, you will get a confidence, and then you can always match, or we can always discuss which way is better or argue with that. Okay, so I'm definitely not leaving anything only on you, but I want you to try today. So tomorrow you will have a second revision, double revision, and understand it all. So that will be all, guys. No, Kunal, Swing and AWT are distinct topics, core Java topics. They are not there in your contents at all. Okay, no Swing, no AWT. It's all the faded technologies. These are deprecated. If you want to learn anytime GUI programming in Java, the trending topic is Java FX. Okay, so you can go for YouTube tutorial Java FX and there. But in your contents, there is no GUI programming for core Java. So we never, yes, Java FX. It is for Java effects basically, but we call it as Java FX. And you do that. But currently focus on advanced Java training, web programming training. Okay, that will be all. See you tomorrow. You're almost welcome.